Dire team ban.
Sorry about that, guys. My mic was messed up on Twitch apparently, but I just fixed the settings. So, it should be better. And welcome to the Dota 2 Canada Cup. I am NYJohn. This is a best of 5. So, a long series for these teams to really feel each other out as we see the bans continue here. They take out Visage as well as the Shadow Demon. It is fully focused on supports right now, as we speculated earlier.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And now the fourth ban is going to be Lina. So another support taken out of the pool. That leaves the Bane available. And usually you don't want to have those two heroes between Batrider and Bane going up against a Lifestealer if you're Denial, because the two shutdowns are definitely better than one. But Denial are still going to pick up the Jakiro. So this good old-fashioned Dignitas strategy, I think I'm going to credit this to them every single time I see it. Jakiro, Darkseer. Just the synergy between these two heroes is phenomenal. So they will roll with that, and think about it, being able to pull everybody in, Lifestealer jumping on top of somebody, getting the most out of the infest damage as well, which is pretty significant when you think about it. It's also going to be a good counter initiation if Gyrocopter tries to get a call down, or if Batrider gets into the middle of the fight. If you're able to just pull everyone into close AoE, deal some damage, it definitely is a nice setup. And I think these two heroes together are devastating, honestly. I think a lot of teams are going to have to start considering banning out the Jakiro in the 3-4 slot when a Darkseer is picked, just because of the potential damage from those two. Not even damage, just control it offers in a team fight. Nyx Assassin's the third pick for Root Gaming, so they add in a support. I like the Nyx Assassin pick, of course. Good option. Also, the Spike Carapace is still an amazing ability. If Nyx Assassin can get a Blink Dagger, which isn't always the easiest thing, and get into the middle of those fights, he is a quasi-initiate for you. Probably not even quasi, he's an official initiate, and that is amazing. And here goes Denial with the Sand King pick once again. So Sand King, Jakiro are shaping up to be two supports to maybe Lifestealer, maybe the other hero they haven't selected yet. But Sand King, devastating power in terms of that epicenter and that burrow strike. Having that instant stun is so important, and you can also close the gap on a hero like Gyrocopter to let Jakiro come in and set up his ice path perfectly. So I do think Sand King, it's a worthy pick. I think we're going to continue to see more Sand King, more Earthshaker back into Dota 2 and the competitive scene, as they have been phased out quite a bit, but I don't know. Recently, they just seem like they've been working out pretty well for some of these teams. The problem being is that if Sand King doesn't get a Blink Dagger, the epicenter is rendered much less effective than it could be. So you're kind of investing a lot in him by wanting to put the farm on him, but he also has to be in the middle of the fight, so he's going to put himself in an awkward position most times to get the right stun off, in which case if he keeps dying and you're investing gold in him, it's like a bottomless pit, a black hole. It really could backfire. Skywrath Mage is picked up here by Root Gaming. So Skywrath, a hero that is pretty amazing. I mean, his ability to harass, his long-range nukes, he seems like he's a legitimate hero. The problem being his mana pool, and his lack of a hard stun is also an issue sometimes, but a really long silence for him can work well against heroes like Lifestealer, who are going to be reliant on getting that rage off to be able to prevent the magic damage from coming in. If you get a long silence on him and you pile on stuff like the call down and whatever magic damage you want to throw in, even the, let's cheat a little bit and look at the name, the Mystic Flare, then yeah, you can cope with Lifestealer pretty effectively. He relies heavily on that rage, and if you were looking at the patch notes, you'll notice that Lifestealer and Batrider, two heroes featured in this game, they will also be receiving a slight nerf moving forward, but it doesn't seem too devastating for either of them. Maybe Batrider, because Flamebreak has really taken a couple of hits in the last couple of patches. But we're looking at fifth and final bans. Looks like the OD is taken out by Denial, and the Puck is taken out by Root. So that's going to put us for the final picks. Denial with their fifth and final selection. If they want to put this Lifestealer in the tri lane, they have a mighty strong tri lane. Lifestealer, Twin-Headed Dragon, and Sand King. They have the Darkseer for the off-lane potential. He could end up in the jungle as well. The problem I'm seeing, and we've seen Denial do this before, I believe it was against Dignitas in one of the ADL matches, they're lacking that secondary source of physical damage. If Lifestealer gets beat up and taken out of the fight, whether it's a lasso and focus on the back end of that or something else, then there isn't as much physical damage, and they're heavily reliant on that magic damage, which isn't always going to come through for them. So maybe a Templar Assassin is good mid pickup. Maybe we'll see Smash's patented solo mid Alchemist. But those are both definitely good sources to fall back on in terms of having that extra physical damage, so that the other team really has to respect that, has to beef up their armor, and not just go for something like a pipe or just rely on a mech to mitigate a lot of the damage coming out from Sanking, Jakiro, and Darkseer. And instead of that, they're actually going to pick up a Mirana. So they do go for a secondary source of physical damage, but it is not the two heroes I suggested. It's a more interesting hero. Mirana, slowly but surely making her way back into the scene. All she needs is a little bit more base damage, a little bit more, and she'll be there. But we have seen teams like Liquid, I believe, and even, I believe, Mouse have been running Mirana frequently recently, and the arrow does a whole lot of damage. She's one of those carries that early on has that fallback in terms of you can fall back on her abilities to output the damage, whereas a lot of heroes don't necessarily have that when they're carries. But she definitely needs an inordinate amount of farm to become a late game carry. So it's something else to take into consideration. The upside, though, you don't take the game late. Just win it early. And Bounty Hunter, the final pick by Root. I want to thank everyone for tuning in once again. I'm going to make this service announcement. If you are having trouble with my stream 720, it is all I have. I'm not partnered. And everything's looking good on my end. I got the green light and everything. And when it comes out in the VOD, it looks fine. So, sorry guys, I can't do anything about that. And hope you can buy a ticket for $1 and watch in game, or just maybe upgrade your internet. Just kidding. I know that's not the solution always. But either way, we're in this game, Dota 2 Canada Cup. Root Gaming versus Denial, Game 1. Denial, formerly known as Arctic, one of the hottest teams this month. Root Gaming, coming out of nowhere, really. The Skeleton Squad, and they're still able to make their way to the finals through pretty stiff competition. So excited to see how this game is going to go. We're in game now. Of course, we get a pause because why not? And while we're paused, we'll take a minute to introduce the players. So, looking at Denial side, they're the Dire. We have Mihawk on the Darkseer, Smash playing the Lifestealer, Misko on Sand King, Iwo playing Mirana, and Jakiro being played by Masoku. That indicates to me that Smash is going to try and take up this solo middle role, and that could definitely be an interesting lane depending who goes there from Root. Iwo, of course, usually their hard carry player. He's going to be on that Mirana and take it to a tri-lane in all likelihood. And we definitely, once again, see an aggressive team from Denial. This is what really got Arctic popular. It's what they've had a lot of success with, so they're going to stick with it. And you definitely admire that trait about them. They don't play the slow Dota. They know when to press and never give up. So, definitely excited to see their team pan out throughout the course of this game. On the flip side, the team that doesn't want to see that happen, we have Root Gaming. Taku going to be playing that Skywrath Mage, Monkeys Forever on Gyrocopter, Dota 2 Sky on Bounty Hunter. We have Natural on Nyx Assassin and Snaking on Batrider. So I believe Sky and Snaking are the stand-ins. Of course, we know Snaking is a stand-in. It looks like Ubels is a German team. So they found a couple players to be here in place of Korea. And I don't know who the usual other spot is. Either Risk or Fun played in the early games that I saw. But either way, they're looking pretty equally aggressive, really. I mean, look at this. Nyx Assassin and Bounty Hunter. This is a two-man gang squad that can do a whole lot of damage. Batrider is going to be a super mobile hero if he can get his Blink Dagger up. And sticking on that probably means it's going to go middle. Monkeys Forever is an amazing carry player. And Taku on the Skywrath Mage, it looks like it's going to be a Skywrath support. So we've seen Skywrath support a couple times before. And it's similar to other support heroes where it's just imperative that he gets that level 6. And against this tri-lane that's coming out from Denial, Mirana, Sand King, and the Jakiro, of course, it might be difficult. I mean, they really could use a secondary stun to fall back on. They only have Nyx Assassin's stun, and other than that, if they're able to connect one of these arrows, you can see early deaths coming out on Skywrath or Gyrocopter. That is if they take it aggressive. I guess I'm speculating a little bit here. But then if that is the case, that off-lane matchup, Bounty Hunter versus, I believe, Mihawk on Darkseer, that'd be a pretty interesting match. I think it's a little bit favorable for Darkseer maybe, just because the Ion Shell damage is annoying. If they give him detection, maybe he has the chance to get a kill somewhere along the line, but we'll actually let it work itself out and then discuss it when it happens. As we see the tri-lane taking shape, heading towards the bottom, it's going to be a full team rotation from Denial down here, as they're going to look to get their wards placed early on here. Takiro on full ward duty, taking up not only the ops, but the sentries, like a true support player. And meanwhile, looks like just standard lanes taking shape from the side of Root. It will be snaking middle, will be this tri-lane bottom. So everything working itself out so far. Once again, thank you for tuning in. This is the Dota 2 Canada Cup of NYJohn. This is the grand finals. We have Root on the Radiant side versus Denial Esports, formerly known as Arctic. And there might be an engage here. They're chasing a little bit, but they don't have really enough. They'd have to go for a blind arrow, I suppose. But Mirana hasn't even selected up her ability yet. That short range on the level 1 Sand King Burrow Strike was not going to connect with any of those heroes there. They were playing it pretty cautiously. Now they're all going to back to a safe distance. Skywrath is here with these sentries. It's time to start trying to counter ward. We do see interesting placement of this observer ward, and they don't try and block the camp with the other observer ward, it looks like. I don't think that blocks at the very least. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So Moran is actually going to rotate up top, and they're going to keep the supports down here. It's going to be a tri-lane featuring the Darkseer potentially, or Ewo's not paying attention and they'll rotate him back down. It looks like that's actually the case, and now Bounty Hunter's going to go try and cut this wave a little bit, pull it around. We see that happen pretty often with Bounty Hunters. It's definitely a smart move as you're able to get some more momentum going towards your tower and have some better lane control. And there he goes, off to the races. I'm really curious about this mid lane matchup. I thought it was going to be, I don't even know, but putting Smasher and Lifestealer versus Snaking on the Batrider, Rage doesn't remove stacks. It's going to be difficult for Snaking to dive him and pick up a kill, but he's still going to have a whole lot of control in this lane. You can see he's already up to 4 stacks. 5 stacks is usually the magic number, but like I said, you don't really want to take a huge risk against a Lifestealer because you get caught with an open wound under a tower and all of a sudden things get ugly. But it still seems like a match that's going to favor Root. This bottom lane, however, probably going to go in favor of Denial. Their tri-lane is too dangerous for any of these heroes to step up. You can see the bolt sentries used, they don't catch anything with them. So these camps are still going to be blocked. Well, that camp, the pull camp at the very least. And these are pretty good sentries anyway because they're able to restrict the vision over here. If there had been a ward there, that could be dangerous for arrows to come out, Burrow Strike initiates. So you definitely understand where Root were coming from putting those sentries down. It wasn't a huge folly. It was reasonable. Mihawk on the top lane looking at his CS, he's 7-0, and he's having fantastic time thus far. As we do see, Sky was able to get this lane back behind his tier 1 tower. So pulling works out for him early on here. And they're just kind of trading auto attacks. It's been a pretty passive lane for the first minute or 2 minutes so far in this game. I really expect it to erupt, but it hasn't hit that breaking point yet. You know, when you're down here, you want to be able to maximize the value, get some extra experience. If Sand King gets to like level 3, having that extra range on the Burrow Strike would be amazing for him. And now he's going to find an invisibility, and this is going to be maybe what I was looking for. We do see middle lane dive, though. Smash is taking a good amount of damage. He only has 2 stacks on him, though. Here's the 3rd stack from Snaking, but it's going to casually disengage. The invisible Sand King is making his way towards middle, and you can see Smash is trying to bait this. The open wound comes out. Here's a stun from Misko, and now Snaking's in a lot of trouble. First blood's going to come. Lifestealer taking down the Batrider in the middle lane, and just well baited by Smash. Snaking probably should have assumed something was up when he was just trying to trade auto attacks because that definitely was fishy, but either way, the King gets caught out there and taken down, and that's really going to be great for Smash. Bottom lane, Ewo's taking a little bit of extra harass. They realize that the 3rd support isn't in lane, so going to try and apply some pressure while he's gone, but Sand King has made his way full circle back to the bottom lane. Top lane's pushing pretty hard under the tower. Sky's taking a good amount of damage from these Ion Shells, and that's my primary concern really in this lane matchup. You can see 15 CS against 9 CS, so he's doing a good job in that regard as well for Mihawk. Mid lane Smash is going to continue to take harass. Now 3 stacks. And Snaking has to play this lane a little bit carefully. Everyone's spotted and counted for on the map right now, so he doesn't have to worry about the rotation, but you can't really afford to give up a death in a lane that I'd say is pretty lopsided in your own favor. And definitely a little bit of a mistake, I'd say. Especially since he was diving, and there really isn't that much kill potential. You can see Smash was just kind of weathering the storm, but now he's going to go ahead and apply 3 stacks again. Bully Smash off the lane. Bottom lane, we do see a mana drain come out of Mirana. She doesn't have much intelligence, so it doesn't do very much. It drains like 70 mana, which is probably less than, yeah, it costs more for Nyx Assassin to use that. Definitely not a worthwhile target to mana burn. Probably Jakiro the best. Sand maybe a good option as well. No, Sand is even worse than Mirana. So, that's that. Top lane, Sky's going to come in invisible here. Mihawk has so much control up here. And Snaking, despite dying once, you have to credit him for being on top of the CS. 23 CS, 6 denies, so he has done a phenomenal job keeping up with his last hits. And Smash really hasn't been able to. He only has 9 last hits. There's an arrow. It flies with no setup, and it will just miss everything down here. Monkeys Forever applying a whole lot of harass. There's a concussive shot slowly making its way to Iwo. Hey, Iwo's taking a good amount of harass damage. They had to pull him all of the regen already. Not the easiest lane for them. It's not as easy as I thought it would be at the very least, because they haven't gotten one of these kills, which would really get them rolling. Now level 3, 3, 3 across the board should make them a lot more confident here. Iwo is still taking the harass damage from Taku. Nothing he can really do about that. And Flat Cannon is pushing this Mirana back as well. So this is worrisome if you're Denial, considering the mid lane, the farm is going really well for Batrider despite that first blood kill. In fact, Smash is actually going to jump on top of Bat here. But Snaking not afraid. Rage hasn't been used yet. Smash taking a good bit of damage in return, though. So risky decision by him. Not really panning out in his favor. Top lane, still waiting for Mihawk to maybe pick up some Invis-Detection. He's really content with farming, though. He's now at 38, so he has a sizable lead over his opposition, and this is what I expected in this lane. It's just difficult for Bounty Hunter to pose a legitimate threat to a Darkseer. Now the Surge is going to come up. Bottom lane erupts a little bit. Ewo's going to take some damage. Ice Path's going to catch 2. Burrow Strike's going to catch 2 as well. There's the dual breath from Jakiro. It looks like Misko's going to go down. No, he's not. First death is going to be onto the Skyrat. Second death is the Nyx Assassin. But now Monkeys Forever was able to take down the Mirana in response. Ice Path is going to miss. Monkeys Forever has another Rocket Barrage. He comes back in, trying to take off Masuko, and they will trade lives. Jakiro getting the kill on Gyrocopter, and Gyrocopter getting the kill on Jakiro. Last man standing is Sand King. With that Sandstorm, Misko, the only survivor on a tri-lane versus tri-lane slaughter on the bottom. And look at this. Just losing that Mirana early on is not great for them, but still they want kills. Top lane, they combine for a kill. Speaking of that, it looks like they rotate in the Nyx Assassin and were able to take down this Darkseer. Darkseer target that is really affected by mana burn. So, I'm not sure if they caught him after he used the Surge or just took his mana pool down. Definitely a good kill in response. This is now up at 4-3 in terms of kills. It's 6.5 minutes into the game. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on NYJohn. This is the Dota 2 Canada Cup Finals, brought to you by Dota2.ca. Check out their website. Also purchase an in-game ticket for $1. I know it's the finals, but it supports them, so be awesome like that. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Jakiro's coming back down here. Iwo thinking about doing something crazy. He has a second Ring of Protection, so he's just going to have to purchase up the Boots of Tranquility to try and counter some of this harass that's coming out onto him. They pulled him a lot of regen, so instead they're going to say, do it yourself, get some of your own regeneration. There's a nice Ice Path. Gyrocopter, the arrow's going to come out, but he jukes it. Stun comes in with a Burrow Strike. There's the Starfall is going to get a kill on Gyro. So even without the arrow connecting, they're able to finish off Gyrocopter, who was left alone. They knew that Nyx Assassin rotated top to help kill off Darkseer. Skywrath was nowhere to be found either, though. And that is a big kill, considering Gyrocopter is doing pretty well for himself, 31-9. But Mirana has gotten a fair bit of CS, so this bottom lane has definitely been an interesting one. Not exactly as many kills as I would have predicted, but both teams still managing to get a fair bit of CS. I mean, honestly, at 8 minutes, here's a stun on Taku. He's in trouble. Ice Path to follow it up. Dual Breath is there as well. Auto attack should finish him, and that will be the case. Monkeys Forever rotating in. He pops off the Rocket Barrage. Misko is going to have to try and juke out of here. He uses the Sandstorm to try and get temporarily invisible, and that will create a little bit of distance while he tries to TP home. Rocket Barrage, though, from Monkeys Forever as he pursues, and he will get the return kill. Meanwhile, Batrider is going to pick up a Ruin. It is a regen. He's 400 gold off from his Blink. So I talked about how well his CS is going, 49 and 12. It really is the case against 29 and 2 on that Lifestealer. Now Mihawk on the top lane may be a little bit of trouble. Is he going to fly over? Is he going to spot him? This is going to be a little bit tricky. If he's able to get the Surge off, Mihawk's going to look for it. He's going to use it, but now in comes the lasso. And Mihawk's in a whole world of hurt. There's no rotation from Denial. They're just going to let him die. Snaking Dota. Good rotation in. Gets them a nice kill. Smash has some time to farm in return, but now the TP back to middle lane. And here comes Snaking with the pressure yet again. Going to keep those stacks up. And it's a little bit surprising to see no movement because you know Mirana throws out the arrow. It doesn't catch Monkeys Forever, but it forces him to juke. And the Ice Path is going to connect on one target. There's the call down. The Gyrocopter's already dead. He buys back. He's TPing right back in. The jump has already been used by Iwo. Masuko's going to get hit by all of Taku's damage here. He's also silenced. Misko is going to try and retreat. He has a Burrow Strike available in a couple seconds. Iwo's taking huge damage from the Rocket Barrage, and he will go down. Jakiro trying to juke a little bit. Throws off the Ice Path, but he's going to die as well. And we do see the TP out from Sand So that was definitely not worth it. Gyrocopter did have to buy back, but bought back into a couple of kills. He got both of them. So that's an amazing buyback. Getting a double kill. Buyback only costing him 318 gold. We do see a TP into a really aggressive spot, and Ewo's going to get silenced off and punished hard. He could drop here. There's a track on him as well. Flat cannon damage is going to hit. It's not enough to kill him, though, as he's able to retreat back. But that was a bad decision. If there was a call down, he would have been dead for certain. Here's a stun from Misko onto Monkeys Forever. He's low on health already. There's a call down defensively to try and keep himself alive. In comes an Ice Path, but behind the tower is Sky trying to do work. He gets the track off on Misko, so Sandstorm's not going to save him. He's silenced as well from the Skywrath Mage, and now they drop down a Sentry. They're going to look for a disable. There's the stun. Can they chain it? Yes, they can. Epicenter to get the overkill onto Sky. Bounty Hunter is going to drop, and that was just a really over-aggressive dive. Smash, meanwhile, trying to clean up some of the supports, but Natural was able to get off the Vendetta and thus able to escape the grasp of Lifestealer, but Snaking's not done. He's coming in, has a DD rune as well as a Blink Dagger. He's going to jump on top, pick up Smash. Smash getting pulled back. He gets Vendetta striked as well. The Ice Path is going to hit absolutely nobody. Smash is going to open one on Monkeys Forever, and they're looking for the turnaround. There it is. Monkeys Forever is dead. Evo comes back into the fight. He's looking for Snaking. Can he get off an arrow? Snaking back down on the ground. He's pinched. This should be an easy arrow, but he already used it, and he's going to try and use the Starfall to get the kill, but it will not connect in time. And the earlier arrow looks like it may have been a mistake, because if he hadn't used that, Snaking cornered himself, would have been for certain a disrupt, and now Sky comes back into the bottom lane. Ewo taking a good amount of damage. Does not have a jump for 2 more seconds. There's the Shuriken toss, and there's the invisibility. Smash now going to turn this around, try and put some damage onto Sky, but he has to be careful. There's a TP response. It's going to be Gyrocopter coming back in. There's a cooldown to stop him from retreating, but Smash isn't letting up. He's trying to kill Sky. He's going to infest and pop out. He's low on health now. He gets hit by the Shuriken as well. Rotation from both teams. Monkeys Forever is dropping. There's a Burrow Strike. It kills off Monkeys Forever. A Sentry down. It's going to get a kill on Sky, and Denial are looking great in this bottom lane right now. It's 11-8 in kills, and this game has gotten really exciting as both teams have just said, screw it, we're just going to fight head on. Snaking coming back in. There's a nice flame break. It's going to knock a couple heroes back. Misko with the stun. Masuko is getting really low on health. Here comes the flyover with the Firefly. That's going to be enough to get the kill on Masuko. Invisibility is popped from Mirana. Arrow's going to let loose, and it's still not going to connect on anybody. These arrows haven't been great from Ewo. There's a nice Burrow Strike on the Natural, but he got off the Carapace beforehand. And now Misko is going to actually drop off of a poor initiation. Vacuum's going to miss from Mihawk. And everybody missing everything as this game has gotten crazy. Smash is coming back in. He has the drums. He's looking for somebody to open wounds, but can't find a target quite yet. From the river, we see an invisible Snaking with a lasso available coming right up on Ewo, and Ewo is in a bad place. Here comes Sky with the track, and there's the kill. It's going to be for Bounty Hunter, but that track gold is going to help them. These trades are so much better. Let's take a look at our gold graph for the first time. It's actually 3,000 gold in favor of Denial, 2,000 experience, and that's largely because of the fact that Darkseer did so well in that top lane. Bottom lane went pretty even as well, but definitely going to start to see that turn a little bit with these track kills coming into play. Smash behind the tier 2 tower is just killing off the creep wave. He's going to try and apply some extra pressure here. Has to be careful of the TP in, but it looks like Snaking actually just TP'd home. Gyrocopter on the top. He's purchased up his Ogre Club, so he's looking towards a BKB, but he's not really there yet. He's still a ways off. It's only 13 minutes in. It seems like because of all this action, it's been a longer game. But it still is early. Middle lane, Monkeys Forever jumps on top of Smash. Smash is going to pop off that Rage and keep working on Monkeys Forever. Now he's going to infest inside of a creep and make his way out of here. But he has to be careful. Snaking rotated in. There's no lasso. So he's just going to have to try and casually walk out. Here's a smoked up Sand King. He's going to look for a burst. So he catches it on Snaking. And now Smash is going to open wound Snaking. Snaking dropping pretty quickly. A couple more hits will do the job. One more auto attack. But he gets over the cliff. Well played by Snaking there. And here's a vacuum counter initiate from Mihawk. But there's no follow-up. They're just going to let that be. And everybody's surviving just barely. Snaking one hit for death. Smash getting really low on the top lane. Ewo was able to take down a tower, it looks like. It's not actually in my chat log. This tower has probably been down for a while then. So my mistake. Bottom lane, Jakiro's finding some farm. Jakiro's level 8. What? That's ridiculous. Jakiro's level 8. These supports are huge. Masuko is going to get caught off here, though. He's going to drop down the Ice Bath, try and get a Dual Breath and a Macro Pyre, everything he can. And now they punish him for being level 8. They're trying to figure out how he's able to do it. But definitely beneficiary of the aggression down bottom are those supports on the side of Denial. I mean, that is pretty amazing. Now TP's into the middle lane. Smash has to be careful. He's low on health. Silence flies off on him. This is what I was talking about before with the Silence Denial Strike. Shuriken toss, not enough to kill him. He's going to turn around now, open up on top of Sky. There's a Burrow Strike and a Sentry. And Sky's dropping, but a call down from Monkeys Forever is going to be the re-engage. Can they get the last hit on Sky? There's the second Sentry. He does die. Whoa! Mystic Flare. Going to kill off the Sand King, though. Huge damage. Smash now opening up onto Monkeys Forever. Monkeys Forever is going to die as he gets hit by that Ice Path from Jakiro. Taku is chased by the Lifestealer. He has an open wounds available in 3 seconds. They're going to commit hard to this, and they're going to get baited into the base. Here comes the counter initiation. In comes Snaking, and he's able to get that kill onto Lifestealer. Lifestealer from Skywrath, not what they wanted. They're also going to clean up the Jakiro. So great bait there by Taku, pulling them all the way back to the base. I mean, it wasn't really as much a bait as it was a poor play from Smash and Masuko, but we'll call it a bait. Call it a bait. Thank you everyone for watching. We're 15 and a half minutes into the game. We already have 29 kills, almost 30 kills. That's a pretty good pace to the game, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. Batrider just picking up his 4-staff. We'll take a minute to look at some of the items. It looks like Sand King did get up a Bracer, which is nice for him. Rana opting for the Yasha. So trying to get towards, I'd assume, that Manta eventually. Sometimes we see the Mirana sit on the Yasha and transition to a different item because she really does need that damage, and Manta doesn't give her too much pure damage, but maybe she'll go for the Manta. She can take off things like Track and also mitigate some of the damage out from the Mystic Flare, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. On the bottom lane, it looks like they're setting up for a big fight again, trying to get through some more of the items. It's tough because there's so much action. Lifestealer is close to having his armlet, doesn't quite have it yet. He needs the recipe, I believe. Batrider has Lasso available, can jump in here. Instead, jumps the other way. He's going to go towards the rune, pick up invisibility, and use that to initiate. Taku, nothing going on for the support. We see Bounty Hunter, nothing much either. He's going towards that BKB with the Ogre Club as well. Bottom tower is going down rather quickly, and it looks like there's going to be maybe a defense. They're throwing down some stacks. No, they're just trying to slow them down a little bit here. And this tower is going to go down for certain. Last hit going to Lifestealer, and that should be enough for his armlet. Yep, there it is. It's going to be completed and sent out. There's a Dust. There's a Sentry. They're really concerned about the invisibility, but nobody's there. Root decide not to try and take that fight. Here's the two invisible heroes, though, and Mihawk gets spotted off. He's tracked up. The counter engage is coming, and good play by Root to be a little bit cautious there. They don't want to run into an odd man situation since they still are camping two heroes up top. Nyx Assassin was camping hard, trying to bait somebody on the Monkeys Forever, but it's just not working right now. There's nobody home, and he's just going to slowly apply pressure to this tower. Maybe see Mirana rotate in it after she heals up. There's a TP. It's actually going to be Lifestealer, and that's not exactly the target they want to try and focus on. So, well played by Denial to put the right hero up there, not knowing where that Nyx was, after seeing a couple of heroes reveal bottom lane. And now we see Snaking sitting on 600 gold. He really has had good farm. We see his net worth up at 6,000. Tops of the net worth is that Darkseer, who I think I missed in my item browse over. Here's the invisibility from Mirana. Looks like on the high ground, though, they're able to notice it. So a little bit of spy work from Nyx Assassin. Good reconnaissance is going to spot off the Mirana ultimate and tell everyone to back. The courier gets pinged, though. It looks like that's the primary target. Vendetta strike. Will it be enough damage? There it goes. Courier down. Nice kill for Nyx Assassin there. And here's the jump from Snaking into a bad area. The leap forward from Mirana. Needs an arrow, but is not even going to try. Ewo's definitely struggled with that arrow at times so far this game. But he's not even going to let it rip then. Batrider, an awfully tough hero to hit with that arrow because Firefly lets him go over obstacles. Monkeys Forever going to TP out of the top lane. Doesn't want to mess with Smash really. See, Smash's farm is pretty good. He's second in the game in 7,100. Gyrocopter, not as much. He's backed by 2,000 gold in relation to that Lifestealer. So, Monkeys Forever, phenomenal carry player. I've seen him on Gyrocopter a bunch of times. That bottom lane caused havoc. And now Jakira's going to get pulled into a really bad spot. Ice Pat's going to fly off, hit a couple of trees, and then get pushed back over. But still die to the fire. Almost a horrible play. Here's the counter initiation, though. In comes Smash. He's on top of Natural. Natural is going to Vendetta away. There is a stun. Skywrath Mage gets taken down somewhere there. And it's a 4 versus 4 right now. Track flies off onto Smash. He's going to casually back off here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Dota 2 Canada Cup Grand Finals. It's a best of 5 between Root on our Radiant side and Denial on our Dire side. Thus far, Denial and Root playing an even game 1. And this is what you like to see from these series too. The gold lead, surprisingly, is there for Denial, considering there's track for Root. They've gotten a lot of track kills. You can see Bounty Hunter has 3 assists and 3 kills. So that's a fair bit of cash. But still, Denial have played a careful game. They haven't gotten in over their heads too many times. There were a couple instances where they left you wondering what they were thinking. But they look like they have a very, very slight lead that can be taken away in a moment's notice from Root, who are playing with a couple stand-ins as well. So this kind of performance thus far, playing really strong with the stand-ins. We also see Ewo going to jump off here. He's going to get caught no matter what. That was a little bit of ambitious leap from Ewo. Here comes the stun. Easy kill on the Mirana for the Batrider there on the bottom lane. And he really can't get caught that far away from home considering the mobility of that Batrider and just how strong it is. Snaking's going to dig himself in deep so he can TP out. Smoke in the middle lane. They're going to try and engage onto Taku. Poor Taku. Going to get hit by the open wounds. Was that a TP? Going to get hit by the open wounds. There's a Burrow Strike. And he actually drops down. Top lane, we do see Monkeys Forever trying to farm up against this Darkseer, who's now building up an ultimate orb. Could be working towards that early Scythe of Vice. Definitely a worthwhile option for him, considering the farm has been slow on some of the carries in this game. Monkeys Forever still working on that BKB. He's 400 gold from it and really doesn't want to die before he can finish that off. It's still going to be a 21-plus minute BKB, so it's not the greatest, but it's necessary. Very much so a necessary item pickup. Looks like Snaking, thinking about going in here, doesn't know that there's nearby help now, he realizes, and he's going to back off a little bit. Monkeys Forever going to continue to spam on the wave. Here comes a rotation back through the secret shop area, and Denial are just hunting, man. They're on the prowl, looking for somebody, but nobody is poking their head out right now. Really cautious play from Root. Well played by them as well. And Denial wasting time. They could be farming, smashing this Lifestealer. They can be trying to get him towards that next item. Whether it's a Basher, whether it's a Sanjin Yasha, whatever it may be, they are buying time from Mirana, though. She's able to get some farm in the bottom lane, now picking up Gloves of Haste. So not going to go straight for the Manta. Maybe going to go for Lightning. Snaking's going to catch her out, though, so she caught her in the middle of the leap. What an amazing play. And here comes an Ice Path, and Snaking may get turned around on here. Ewo dropping really low. Snaking gets spotted. The ultimate gets popped off on the back end. Gyrocopter tried to come in to support, but he gets killed by the Sand King and Lifestealer. And that's not what you wanted if you're Root. I was talking about them playing really cautiously. It was well done. But now we set Gyrocopter even further back when he's looking for that BKB so desperately. A sheer amount of magical damage coming out from Denial right now is intimidating. And now under this tier 2 tower, Snaking pretty far forward, but he's confident with those Blink as well as his Force Staff that he's not going to get caught out here. Going to throw out a Flame Break, try and slow down this push. The rest of his team doesn't seem to be in the area. So is that Nyx Assassin, who could not use Vendetta. It's on cooldown for 20 seconds. So they're just going to keep spamming off, try and save this tower. They use the Glyph as well. Tower is alive for now. Bounty Hunter has finished off his BKB. So that's a really good pickup and a necessary pickup for them on him, being able to wheel and deal more in these team fights, not have to worry about as much. Darkseer's close to his completed Scythe of Vice. He's at, let's see, 375 gold away from the entirety of it, I believe, or just 300 now. So that's amazing for a Darkseer. He's going to have a 24-minute, 25-minute Scythe of Vice on top of a mech. It's not like it was a straight rush. And you can imagine that being horrifying for Gyrocopter since he hasn't been able to finish off that BKB. Now in bottom lane, they're giving him really a safe farm. They're back to tri-lane form, trying to make sure he gets this last 400 gold. And Ewo did go for the Maelstrom, so he is a lightning man. He is going to use that for some more magical damage, which is surprising to me because all these heroes are going for, I believe it counts as magical damage. All these heroes are going for BKBs, so I don't know why you would want to go for something like that. There's definitely better alternatives if you're just trying to bolster your attack speed and damage output. So I'm a little bit questioning this pickup, but it will allow him to push a little bit better by himself. So there's that. There are other items that will allow him to push a little bit better by himself, like an AC, but that's much more expensive. So this gets the job done. I probably don't want to see him upgrade it. And he's getting procs like a madman, so maybe it is an amazing item. Top lane, they're going to jump on top here. Misko in a little bit of trouble. He's actually going to drop, gets the Burrow Strike off, so he can try and get his team back in. The arrow's going to fly. It's not going to hit. Snaking's going to back off, but the double damage on Ewo is going to be enough to get the kill. That's a big kill, 700 gold. And we're looking for the... Where is he? He's juking me. Sky is going to just try and TP out of here. He doesn't even pop off the BKB, so confident TP. But trading Snaking with a bounty of 710 gold for a Sand King with a bounty of 300. That just doesn't seem right to me. Good response from Denial, and they take a slight victory there. And now Batrider down, Lasso down for 30 seconds. They can go ahead and try and push this top tier 2 out. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to bring this lane out with them. Put some damage on the tower. Let's see if they can get the kill or not. I believe the glyph is down, yeah. Down for still half the duration. There goes the tower. Easy tower kill for Lifestealer, who still has the Aegis, mind you. And I'll have that for 4 more minutes. So Denial getting another small victory there. Picking off the Batrider, taking a tier 2. Just building on their victories. It's definitely what you like to see out of high-level play, high-level teams. Root looking for a response. The BKB is now up on Gyrocopter. Doesn't mean they can team fight. I'd still say it's going to be difficult, but they definitely are better off. There's no question about that. They have the 2 BKBs, one on Gyrocopter, one on Bounty Hunter. These are heroes that want to play aggressive. You can see Sky poking his head where it probably shouldn't be at this point. He also picks up the Vlad, so he gets that extra armor. There's the track onto Mihawk. He's going to back up a little bit, and so allows him to know where he is. We do see Mirana opting to pick up the Mithril Hammer. So I'm not sure if this is a BKB build. I'm pretty sure it is, though, because that silence is pretty frustrating. Also, being able to stand through the cooldown would be pretty nice, but it could be a Deso build. We talked about trying to compensate for her lack of damage output, and Desolator is definitely one of those items that does it very effectively. Middle lane Smash picks up the Sanjin Yasha in its entirety. He has 900 more gold in his bank. He's getting really far from home here, though. And we do see Root camping out that dire jungle. They're looking for the engaged. They're trying to wait it and see how many heroes are actually here. They don't have eyes on anyone except for Smash, really. And now this Vision Ward probably going to spot off Masuko in the middle lane as well. There's a Sentry. And Vendetta, Natural. They're going to pop it instantly. They know someone's here. The dust is out of range, though. Next Assassin able to break that smoke immediately because he was in the area invisible. And now they're just going to try and trade. They're going to go for the tier 2 top lane. That is Root, and mid lane. Denial are going to work on this tier 2 themselves. They're going to get theirs much faster. It looks like neither team has a glyph to offer up. They're going to press on to the base. Liquid Fire's in play, of course. That helps out the pushing effort as well. Smash taking unnecessary tower damage for some reason. TP homes are coming. They're still looking for this tier 2 trade. The tower is finally dropping. They need to get back to their base because tier 3 took a decent bit of damage there. Snaking's going to pop out the Firefly, and maybe they won't overreact. Maybe they won't come back to the base, as it looks like Mihawk's trying to TP home, but that could have been a bait. Mihawk's going to get lassoed and pulled back. He has a sight device. The Sheep's going to come on top of Snaking. He's also going to get vacuumed back. There's the stun, the Burrow Strike, and Snaking is dead. Monkeys Forever, BKB pop coming into the middle of the fight. Smash just barely surviving. He still has the Aegis, though. 2 heroes are dead for the denial. Buyback comes from Snaking as well. Before he dies, Smash is able to take down the Gyrocopter, and that is huge. Smash is dominating. There goes the Ice Path. Amazing armlet toggles. Turn the fight. Denial are going to lose a couple more, though, as the supports are going down. And the big ultimate is going to hit on a BKB Bounty Hunter. So it's not going to do all too much. The Infest is going to be enough damage to kill off Nick's Assassin. And now Snaking trying to keep himself alive. Smash still with the Aegis. Will now finally have to pop it as the Shuriken comes in to finish off the last bit of health he had. Snaking running out of duration on that Firefly. Needs to be careful. Lasso flies onto Smash. Smash still raged, though. He's just going to try and man up. Taku's going to take a big chunk of damage from one auto attack. Smash being kited effectively here, though. He doesn't have enough. He's going to toggle again. Is he going to stay alive? Can he get the kill? He will. Gets the kill on top of Bounty Hunter. Smash Dota. And now he's going to turn around and look for Snaking. The silence is there again. The concussive shot. The toggle. He keeps going, but there is the flame break to finally shut down the Lifestealer, who is just not giving in. And somehow, Root make it out of that team fight a little bit better off, I believe. They lose a whole lot of heroes. They have to buy back on the Batrider, but Batrider is pretty comfortable buying back at this stage. Look at his items. Has the travels. He's looking for a BKB, I believe, with his Ogre Club, and he's close to it. But definitely at a position where buying back is not the end of the world for him. But amazing fight from Smash. That toggling was on point. And with those dots and everything in effect, if he had miscued one of them, he would have dropped so much sooner. It's just such an individually talented player. And Iwo did opt to pick up the Black King Bar. So that's in play for him as well. And Mirana still needs a lot of farm to be effective, really. He's only hitting for 160, around 170 base damage. If he gets procs, he does a little bit more, but it just isn't that much, in my opinion. We do see Taku getting attacked by neutrals here. I was a little afraid he was dying, but he is fine. Mirana needs the Deso, the MKB, or the Daedalus. One of those really hard-hitting items. But we see these team fights are still going pretty well for both teams, despite that not being there. Despite the Gyrocopter's farm not being there for Monkeys Forever. He's now sitting on 3,200 gold. Probably has to go an all-in-ish item. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see him pick up the Demon Edge and then just work towards that Divine Rapier, because they are feeling behind. They don't have as many towers. They don't have the farm where they want it to be, whereas the net worth is on the 2 heroes for Denial that they want it to be. They have the Lifestealer and the Mirana at the top of the boards. Gyrocopter is sitting there at 6th. He's below 5 other heroes. That's pretty bad for a Gyrocopter, speaking in very general terms. Smash now is going to take down a tower, so add more money to him. He actually picks up the Javelin, so maybe looking for his Basher, which into an Abyssal would be really nice. Going through that BKB of Gyros, dealing a whole lot of damage. And they're just going to back up. Yep, it will be the Basher. He's able to finish it off. The Blink Dagger was up from Sanking. I think we saw in the last fight, but unfortunately he had some bad luck going on only a BKB target with that Epicenter. Nonetheless, it's a huge ability to throw in the mix. I just mentioned how underfarmed some of these heroes are on the side of Root. Epicenter is going to absolutely ravage them. And then if you can get a vacuum and pull them back into the core of it, that slow on top of it is going to be really nice. Sky gets spotted off here a little bit. Actually, they don't see him yet. He's going to rotate into Smash, though, and he has to be careful, but there's no detection on Smash. So Smash is going to look for a first hit bash, gets the second hit bash. Enough time for Bounty Hunter to get invis, though. And Roche is respawning in 2 minutes, so both teams are going to play it very cautiously right now. Play it slow, wait for that Roche to come back up, and then maybe fight around there. Go for that Aegis. I mean, we saw what Smash could do with the Aegis once. Don't want to give it to him again, and that definitely would be helpful for Gyrocopter because he is taking so much damage. He does pick up the Demon Edge. So if he had that Aegis, I mean, these fights would be looking a whole lot better for them. Probably something you could say about any hero, though. Any player, any hero combination. I don't think Aegis makes anybody worse. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm NYJohn. We're 33 minutes into this game. This is the Dota 2 Canada Cup Finals, brought to you by Dota2.ca. Be sure to purchase an in-game ticket for $1 and watch there. This is Denial Esports versus Root Gaming. Game 1. 23-22. We have 45 kills. There's a jump in the middle lane, though. We do see Smash getting pulled back here. Invisibility used. He's taking a lot of damage. He's dead. Mystic Flare will finish off the lifesteal. Last hit actually going to Bounty Hunter. And that is exactly what they need. They need to transition into this Roshan, but they're not pushing it yet. Smash doesn't have enough for buyback. He finished off that Basher moments ago. And they need to work their way towards the pit. This is amazing timing for them. They have 50 seconds. Of course, fighting in a confined area could be very dangerous. We talked about that blink and that epicenter being in play. Definitely don't want to get caught, your whole team, with that. But nonetheless, they pretty much have to go for this Roshan. Sanj picked up on Bounty Hunter. He can go for Heaven's Halberd. Wouldn't be a bad idea. They're still looking for more picks, though. They have a lasso up, rotating into his middle lane. Jump out from snaking. They're not going to find anybody. Roshan. This should be over here. Fighting this. Now Smash has plenty of time to respawn. So this is a missed opportunity in my book. I don't know if they could have taken it down quickly enough. If maybe Denial could have just hampered their ability to finish off Roche, and it would have been troublesome. But I think it was worth a shot. And they don't go for it. So Denial once again in a position where they can feel pretty comfortable trying to go for Roche sooner or later here. But saw the dangers of Lifestealer getting caught without having that buyback money. And definitely was almost devastating. Now we see a grouping up. They're actually spotted. This is a nice ward. Place off to the side, of course. This is a very typical warding spot. Gets counter-warded often. This is a little bit different. And you get some good vision of who's where, coming in and coming out of the jungle, going towards bottom lane and such. Definitely a cool play. Farming the Ancients. Ewo continues to try and build himself up. He has 2,600 gold. There's an arrow. It's going to hit on Roche. Well placed. One of the first arrows I've seen Mirana land this game. Not to be mean, but I think definitely one of the first ones I've seen on camera. And Roche is dropping. This is exactly what I was talking about. Missed opportunity from Root. Not able to capitalize. And now all of a sudden Denial are getting a free Roshan for absolutely nothing. As we see Roche dropping down below half health. The pings are coming out now. Snaking's on the high ground. He's going to try and rotate in. We do see the vacuum as well. There's the dust used. So dust necessary against the team with Mirana, of course. And they're going to back off. So it wasn't exactly free. I lied. Here's the full team rotation in. Misko's looking for someone to jump on. Sentries on sentries on sentries. He finds Naturel. Does he want to jump on a support, though, is a question. Here, Misko's getting hit. There's Lifestealer popping out. Smash opening on Nyx Assassin. Now Monkey's Forever in the middle of it. The lasso comes out on Smash. It's going to stop him in his tracks. Into the middle fight is Ewo. He has to pop off the BKB. And so far the only casualty is the Sand King, not able to get his ultimate off. We do see Bounty Hunter able to clean up the Mirana in pursuit of them. Mihawk's taking a good amount of damage as well. He hasn't used his sheep yet. Now we'll get silenced off. There's Smash making his way back into the middle fight, but he's taking a good bit of damage. And Root are turning it around. Smash surviving. He has to back up. There's no infest. He just used it, and he's dead. And there's a vacuum. And he did have an infest. But he's dead. Denial lose 4 heroes. Only 1 in exchange from Root. And now they get Roshan, who's already down to his last legs in terms of his life pool. And just going to get it for free. So, pardon me for questioning them. Questioning their plan there. Gyrocopter did opt to build the MKB. Didn't go for the risky Divine Rapier. But amazing team fight for them. And you could see that team fight was just too scattered. It was way too scattered for Denial. They weren't able to get it together. The amazing vacuum came in super late. There was no epicenter. So, well played by Root. And I've been saying Denial are ahead. I think that switches it entirely. I mean, looking at the gold graph, you can see that indicates that the gold lead is now in favor of Root. The experience lead is through the roof in favor of Root now. Just based off of one team fight. Well, 2 team fights, I guess. That is an amazing turnaround And now with this Aegis on the gyrocopter and the MKB on him, all of a sudden this underfarmed gyrocopter is hitting like a truck, and they don't really have an answer for it until the Abyssal's up, but still need buyback gold on Lifestealer. And this is the problem with Mirana. You get to the late game, you need a disproportionate amount of more farm than other carries. He just doesn't deal enough damage. And Ewo doesn't have that disproportionate amount of farm in this game quite yet. Here's a smoke, here's invisibility. Vendetta is going to spot off Lifestealer. It's actually the super smoke, not the usual one. It's Mirana's ultimate. Moonlight Shadow. Always forget that name for some reason. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in. I'm NYJohn, and this is the Dota 2 Canada Cup. Be sure to check out Dota 2 Canada on Twitter. Also follow me on Twitter at NYJohnTV. Follow me here on my Twitch channel as well. This tournament has been really fun to bring to you, and I appreciate everyone viewing and enjoying these games as well. Denial, formerly known as Arctic, have been a really hot team as of late. On the flip side, the Root have played amazing Dota in the Cup. And right now, it looks like the ball is in their court. They could fall back on this gyrocopter carry. Mirana now just finishes up that Manta. And you could see in those last team fights, she was getting bullied by the Bounty Hunter. I mean, she left into a bad position. Needs to save that lead for defensive purposes in all likelihood. But other than that, the Bounty Hunter can go and pursue her. And even if Bounty Hunter isn't killing her and he's keeping her out of the fight, that's a trade you're willing to take. Bounty Hunter boxing out your carry, one of your carries, and then Smash is stranded there to deal all the damage himself. We talked about the emphasis on magic damage. There's a lot of BKBs up, so that's not hitting as hard as they would need it to for it to be significant. Now Blink is up on Mihawk as well. So Darkseer picking up a gem too. He's going to be a mighty fast little Darkseer. Jump middle lane. Smash gets hit by Lasso, pulled up to the high ground. Natural and Taku are there. There's a Mystic Flare. Smash getting so low, he's going to get killed off in the duration of a chain stuns. He's dead with no buyback. Masuko's going to try and TP home, but the concussive shot is going to net the kill on him. The jump forward from Snaking. He's looking to end what he started. Going to try and push out this tier 2 in the middle lane. Once again, Smash getting caught out, so I praised him earlier for his amazing plays. But now he is, it's like night and day. Getting caught out in bad places. Hurting his team more than he's helping it right now. And here's the push. They have a gem as well. Both teams sitting on a gem. Tier 2 is already pretty low. It's down below half. Bounty Hunter's going to go ahead and roam behind. Looks like they're going to try and take the lane momentum in both other lanes. Denial are not going to come back and try and defend this tier 2. They're going to use up the glyph to delay it a little bit longer. Maybe work their way towards a tier 3. I don't know if that's a realistic goal, but it definitely is a possibility. We'll see if the TP is back come, or if maybe teams are content on base racing a little bit here. Base trading. There's pressure on this bottom lane. It's going down pretty quickly. The TP home does come from Darkseer. Darkseer can throw down the wall, and it should slow it down, or slow the push down a decent amount. Snaking TP's back home as well. He's looking to jump on somebody. Misko. Uh-oh. There's the blink. There's the lasso. Misko getting caught far from home. Misko's going to go ahead and try and use that Burrow Strike. Now he can blink as well. Blink into the trees and TP home, young men. No flame break for 2 more seconds, and he will be safe. Meanwhile, Smash is going to pursue, find Bounty Hunter with that gem. They're able to hit him with that open wounds, and now he's just trying to retreat out of here. He's going to try and blink home. Can he get off the interrupt? Oh, the Heaven's Halberd was preventing him from attacking, but now Sky in a lot of trouble. I don't know what did it. He had BKB up. Huh. Interesting. What goes through BKB other than I don't know, maybe you guys know in chat. You can figure it out amongst yourselves, but that definitely was weird. Lifestealer maybe got a first hit bash out of the Heaven's Halberd cooldown when he's able to pop off the rage. That's probably the case. That's the only thing that makes sense. And that would explain why Sky's a little bit frustrated, because that is pretty improbable and certainly unfortunate for him. Bottom lane, Misko's going to come in. He has an ultimate orb, so he's working towards the side device. Roche is back up in, oh no, reclaimed in 30 seconds, excuse me. Roche is back up in 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Smash is going to come in and continue to farm in the jungle, now just trying to work for that buyback gold, I hope. And he is doing so. Here's a big smoke from Root, so they can try and take a fight here. They've been doing so well getting these pickoffs. We also see Snaking also able to pick up a Ghost Scepter now, which is amazing because of the fact that there is a lot of physical damage, and he's going to be able to stand strong against a lot of these heroes. There we go. Mihawk's going to get opened on. He gets pulled back. Moonlight Shadow's in play. Mihawk getting dropped immediately. The Mystic Flare, so much damage. It's a level 2 Mystic Flare, and now Infest on Misko. And he says, driver, take me home. Misko trying to be a little choo-choo, trying to take the Lifestealer somewhere safe and somewhere happy. He's going to juke a little bit and TP out now. Is there a flame break? There is, but it's too late. Seconds too late. And the Sand King takes the Lifestealer home to sweet, sweet freedom. Top lane, Mirana continues to try and farm. But look at this. Big pickup on Monkeys Forever on that Gyrocopter. He now has a Butterfly. And with that Butterfly, all this farm from Mirana is in vain. She needs the MKB. Absolutely needs it. Lifestealer isn't a hero that goes for MKB. Mirana is. But seeing a little bit of a weird build from Iwo on Mirana. And he hasn't been dealing that much damage. But it's certainly going to be difficult for him to apply pressure to Gyrocopter now. As if it wasn't already before. Both teams playing really passively now. Don't want to throw this game away, as they both have a legitimate shot at it. I mean, Denial have been slipping. Root have been looking the better side in the past probably 10 minutes, really, ever since that big Roche fight. Or even before that. So you got to give them credit. Gyrocopter started off the game pretty poorly. He didn't have much farm at all, and is able to rebound. And is now looking pretty monstrous. I mean, he's winning in net worth. Batrider's up there too. Snaking's done a great job on that hero. And they're going to actually smoke and rotate towards top. So they're going to try and find somebody out here. Batrider has 5,200 gold almost. He is filthy rich right now. He's going to stay for buyback, jump back into the team fight. But if he wanted to go something like a Scythe of Vice, definitely would be an amazing pickup for him and for Root. A lot of invisible heroes here. Gonna catch out the Lifestealer again. And smash. Caught too far from home. The Mystic Flare. Batrider getting the last hit. And this could be a Rax. This could cost them big. As Monkeys Forever rotates towards the lane. And it looks like Denial are going to live and die by Smash. And they've been dying by him recently. Root Gaming looking to try and take a first game advantage in this best of 5 series. Looking to take down Rax up top. There is buyback gold. Can they force it? How hard do they want to commit to this? It looks like Nyx Assassin in the base is going to... Wow, that's a lot of mana gone for Jakiro. There's an arrow. It hits on top of Monkeys Forever. They push him out of the base to try and keep him safe. There's the jump in from Iwo, and this is a risky move. There's the buyback. They're going to try and make a team fight out of it. Mihawk taking a lot of damage from the Vendetta. He's actually going to drop. First casualty, and now the lasso on top of Iwo is pulling him to a very unsafe position. He's dead as well. Smash working on top of the Nyx Assassin. Buyback comes out from the Mirana, and now they're trying to kill anybody. They're backing up a little bit. Smash gets drained of his mana. The jump in. Smash is dead. Smash is dead. Misko is going to be pursued as well. He's going to drop, and Monkeys Forever is killing everybody. Triple kill. Iwo trying to get back to base. Gets hit by a shuriken, and they'll let him walk free. The Rax is going to go down. Nobody has buyback for Denial, and Monkeys Forever able to clean up that team fight. It looks like Root Gaming are about to take a game 1 lead. That is just an amazing team fight for them. They couldn't find the right target. Mirana committed heavily to the fight, and you could see 3 and 8 on Mirana. We've seen Denial, formerly known as Arctic, take a lot of risky moves in terms of hero choices. Mirana probably going to be classified as a risk, but if it was any other carry, you just wonder if they'd be in a much better position. It doesn't give them as great a try lane, but you have to wonder. This Roche is being conquered by Root. On the side of Root Gaming, I mean, I've said it minutes ago, Monkeys Forever rebounding is huge for them. But this Bounty Hunter's played really well too. This guy's been everywhere. He's been getting that track gold up for them whenever they have kills. So these big kill numbers are just so much better for Root. And let's take a look at the gold and see what it says. 12,000 gold now. And look at that steep incline. That's over the course of 12 minutes. They're able to attain 1,000 gold lead per minute. That's a pretty good rate, I'd say. 20,000 experience. And Darkseer had a monstrous game. I mean, he had to sight the Vice up in 24, 25 minutes. Still weren't able to make anything out of it. And go back to that Mirana, the low damage output, just not hurting these carries enough. Butterfly is in play. Where's your MKB? There isn't one. Batrider now has a Scythe of Vice. He's sitting on a full inventory. 48 minutes in, 2,000 extra gold. So he'll have buyback gold if need be. He's 23. He's on his way to level 25. He'll probably reach there before the end of the game. There's a Yules up for Skywrath Mage, which I think is an awesome item on him. I think Yules is a very underrated item on a lot of heroes. But look at the survivability on Skywrath Mage now. He's not an easy target to take down. He has a 4-staff, the Ghost Scepter, and a Yules. And then in return, he can also take someone out of the fight for a good duration. Middle lane, Misko's going to get caught off here, get stunned. Natural is going to pile on the damage. There's the Mystic Flare. Mystic Flare is now level 3. Dealing 1,200 damage on one target. Not exactly where Sand King wants to be on the receiving end of that skill. And this could be the final push as Root look to try and go uphill here. 5 players on deck. Sand King's dead. Does have buyback. Will they force it out of him? Yes, they will. There's the buyback. Snake King gonna pop the BKB. Jumps on top of Mihawk. Gonna 4-staff himself backwards. Mihawk getting low. The Infest pop out from Smash. Here's the Mystic Flare. It's used to kill off the Darkseer. Darkseer is down. Now they're gonna go on top of Jakiro. And Iwo dies in the back line as well. Once again being boxed out by that Bounty Hunter. And Smash is the last significant man standing. No offense, Misko. But you are just fodder. He's gonna go down. GG is called. Denial. Getting bested by Root Gaming in Game 1 of the Dota 2 Canada Cup Finals. This is a best-of-5 series, and Root Gaming, what more can you say than they look amazing right now? They're playing with 2 stand-ins, haven't skipped a beat. Of course, they have world-class stand-ins, and players from not only Dignitas, but also Ubelst. Forgive me, any German that heard that and just, like, died because it was such a bad pronunciation. But either way, Root Gaming, amazing game. 43 kills to 25 kills. Just look at these numbers. Monkeys Forever, 14-8. Snaking, 13-3. Net worth, 27,000 for the Gyrocopter, 25,000 almost for the Batrider. And we always say, when Snaking is on, one of the best players, hands down. One of the best mid players, hands down. And he was certainly on this game. There we go. Throne is down, and that's going to be the end of Game 1. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm NYJohn. This is the Dota 2 Canada Cup Grand Finals. Root Gaming versus Denial Esports. Root Gaming just take a Game 1 lead in a game where Denial looked like they were ahead for a fair bit of time, but not able to weather the storm that was Monkeys Forever on Gyrocopter. They couldn't keep him down for the entirety of the game, and he came back to absolutely destroy them. I want to remind everyone that's watching, this cup is brought to us by Dota2.ca. So be sure to follow Dota 2 Canada on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at NYJohnTV. Follow me on this Twitch channel. All that stuff would be awesome, and it's an easy way to support us. Also, purchase of a ticket. It's only $1 in the store. You can watch the finals in-game, and it is a great way to support an amateur competition like this, which has been a lot of fun. I think some of the games we've seen, even this game, is so exciting. And we get to see some talent that we don't always get to see on the center stage. So go ahead and do that stuff between games. We'll have the next game coming for you whenever it's ready. See you then.